Hello everyone, I'm Professor. So today we are going to discuss about subject called automobile component design. In that, we're going to talk about spur gear design and design procedure for that spur gear. So today we are going to develop an algorithm to design spur gear. Yeah. So in first case, what is procedure for this design? So we're going to discuss step by step design consideration to develop our gear which can have sufficient amount of strength to withstand any type of power transmission or a torque transmission. So first we have to develop or if we have to find tooth load depending on power which is generated or transmitted by our gears. So our first criteria is to find that load acting on our gear. So first is to determine what amount of load depending on our input criteria. Input criteria will going to be to find any amount of power at any particular velocity ratio. So our sole aim is to find power to get that tooth load which is depending on velocity ratio. Okay? Second is to apply Lewis equation. How we are going to apply Lewis equation? We are going to consider our tooth as a cantilever beam. So our teeth will going to act as a cantilever beam, and for that we are going to apply this Lewis equation. This Lewis equation will gives us a limiting stress, or you can say allowable stress, depending on our thrust load, or you can say load acting on our tooth. Here after that, after to finding that allowable stress, we can find working stress depending on this Lewis equation, which is sigma w is equals to cv into allowable stress, where cv is constant which is depending on the velocity, or you can simply call it velocity constant, which we have discussed in previous session. After that, we will calculate dynamic load. This dynamic load, it is combi or summation of static load, or you can say thrust load, and load developed due to velocity of your gear. Then after, we will calculate a static load. Static load is nothing but when your gear will going to be in contact with each other, that will develop or try to press against each other, and ultimately calculate the wear. So this is a basic outline to design our gear. Let's repeat once again. First, you have to find out what amount of load acting on your gear teeth. How you are going to find? Depending on your power transmission and velocity ratio for your particular material. So that will going to be your input criteria. Second thing, to apply Lewis equation on your teeth. Here, this Lewis equation will give you amount of allowable stress which can facilitate to develop your gear teeth. Here, second one is allowable stress, and depending on that allowable stress, you can easily find out working stress. After find out working stress, you can easily find module of that gear. From that module of that gear, you can find limiting stress in dynamic load condition and static load condition, and ultimately wear. This module also gives you geometry of your gear. So ultimately, what we are going to find here is we are going to determine different as geometrical aspect of our gear teeth. Clear? Depending on that gear teeth, we can find diameter as well as number of teeth. And how we are going to develop this geometry? You will going to find module of our gear depending on this different types of loads. Clear? Let's talk about these loads. So find the tooth load depending on power transmission. How you are going to find? So here you, if you are given velocity ratio and power, or velocity and power, you can easily find WT, which is power divided by velocity into CS. How you have found this? Power equation for power, or you can say unit of power, is what? Joule per second. Yeah. So joule per second and divided by meter per second. So second gone, ultimately joule per meter. And joule is nothing but Newton into meter. So ultimately Newton into meter per meter. So ultimately you can find a load depending on power and velocity. CS is nothing but a service factor which will be given in your particular example. Here, velocity, pitch velocity will going to be same if it is gear or a pinion. So if you have any doubt about this velocity of linear velocity, okay. So I'm not talking about angular velocity. I'm talking about linear velocity. Linear velocity of both of the gear will going to be same. Why same? If it is not same, they will not going to be interfer. They will not going to be connect with each other, or they will not going to transfer that power. Clear? So velocity of that gear will going to be same. So if you want to find linear velocity, you can have any of your gear and find that velocity easily. Depending on that gear type, you can find easily a different types of load, different types of special, particularly gear or anything. Then after, apply Lewis equation. Lewis equation is nothing but to convert our teeth into cantilever beam and determine that bending stress. So how you are going to determine bending stress? We have discussed that previously extensively in previous session extensively. Here we will discuss only about that equation. That equation is nothing but Wt is equal to sigma W into B into pi into M into Y, where sigma W is nothing but working stress, B is equals to nothing but your phase width, pi into module, M is module is nothing but diameter divided by teeth or ratio of diameter to teeth, and Y is Lewis form factor, which is depending on type of your tooth. Here whether it is 40 degree, 40 and a half, 20 degree or 20 degree stop angle. Here working stress is nothing but sigma allowable into CV, where CV also depend on your velocity, which is V, which you can find from any of pinion or gear. After that, you will determine dynamic load. Dynamic load is a load is acting when your gear in a motion. It will increase amount of load in your at your gear. Clear? It is Wt plus Wi, where Wi is increment in load depending on your velocity. And that equation is 21 increment Wi is equal to 21V into Bc plus Wt divided by 21V plus under root Bc plus Wt. After determining this load, we will find static load. Static load is load acting when your gear is just about to touch. It is not in motion but is just about to touch. That is called a static load. After determining static load, we can find W. After developing the static load model, we have to determine the static load, which is WS is equal to sigma E into B into PC into sigma O into B into PC into Y, where sigma O is endurance limit, sigma E is endurance limit. These are the different endurance limit for your stresses. After that, we have to determine wear load. Wear load is nothing but uh, this kind of scoring or pitting or wearing developed in your gear. This will going to affect minimum to your gear design. So we have to calculate is briefly. We have discussed this briefly, which in previous session. Here, so last one is to find this wear load. Here, and ultimately we have to develop the basic algorithm. And what is that? So let's repeat this once again. First, we have find that load acting on your gear, and allowable stress, working stress, Lewis equation, your dynamic load, static load, wear load, and ultimately your design algorithm, which is depending on determining of your module and determining of your teeth. So our main extensive design is purely to decide geometry of your gear rather than anything else. So here we have developed different geometry of gear. So I hope you have understand step by step procedure, or you can say algorithm of our gear design. If you have any doubt about this particular session, you can directly contact me. Depending on this session, we are going to have a case study for this gear design. I hope you understand very well. Thank you so much. Uh,